It is to no one's surprise that the glory days of Call of Duty have come and gone, where we were younger and games felt magical and impactful, and games were fun. That goes to say, there are plenty of fun games today, but nothing compared to prom Call of Duty. We all remember the days of FaZe Pamajas for Sniper Montage on BO2, the Vanoss crew with their funny moments, Jev raging at Black Ops 2, and all of Allier's nuclear videos. Those days are far in the past with other games taking these creators away, besides Jev, who still frequents Call of Duty, but is expanding his gaming portfolio widely. We grew up on Call of Duty and remember what it used to be, so for those who don't know, these are the glory days of Call of Duty.
Inject my blood with the baseline black light. I hear the freaks are coming out for some more. I hear the freaks, freaks, freak, 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 freak. I hear the freaks, freaks, freak, 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 freak. I hear the freaks, freaks, freaks come out.
Cause a stampede, no handles flying like a banshee. They use cheat codes, but we don't cheat though. No cliff notes, homie, we don't need those.
Stressful times, one off. Screw it again. Don't want to get in that risky fight. Not about that risky life. Oh, nuclear baby life, nuclear. Let's go, boys.
Some people will say that it's just nostalgia from being in love with these games from years ago, and some will say that we're just older and therefore we can't get the same joy that games brought us back when we were young. But that just isn't true. The days of good Call of Duty ended around here though. In the glory days, you could just make crazy class setups and melt enemies or call in tactical nukes, or you could make the absolute worst abomination ever and it still worked. People ran around the maps not caring if they got killed, but of course there were still campers, but those campers were encouraged to move after one cheeky kill because they were done for. The glory days pushed for people to have fun and to get better. When there was a guy going over 100 kills in domination, calling in swarms, you wanted to be him. You saw FaZe and Optic form and hit the craziest trick shots known to man. But where were these glorious days extended to? Does it end with BO2? Ghost wasn't well received at launch, but Advanced Warfare had an incredible competitive scene. And what about Black Ops 3 with its phenomenal zombies? Is this where the glory days ended? It's in common agreement that Treyarch made a majority of the best Call of Duties that have ever existed, which is why here I'll say BO3 was the end of the glory days, because after BO3, not one studio can make a game that people loved. We all know about Infinite Warfare being the third jetpack game in a row, with people hating the mechanic already, with supply drops and everything, followed by World War II, which couldn't get any recognition until years after its life cycle was already over, and then released Black Ops 4. In general, it wasn't a terrible game. It took jetpacks out of Black Ops 3, it had a zombies mode that ended the story of the Ultimus crew, and oh wow, this game only sold 14 million copies. Comparing this to World War II at 19.8 million and Modern Warfare 2019 with over 30 million copies, this shows how hard of a fall Treyarch had with this game. You might see MW 2019's insane 30 million copies sold and think that is good, but this leads us to the downfall of Call of Duty.
Oh my God, can you say caught with your pants down? Oh my.
I would like to attribute the downfall of Call of Duty to one and only Fortnite. And you may think to yourself, how does Fortnite have anything to do with Call of Duty? Actually, it has a lot. Everyone knows Fortnite. People were playing it on their phones, consoles, computers, and everywhere imaginable. Coming out on top of 100 people just proved you were good at the game. At the beginning of Fortnite Battle Royale, there were around 1 million players. Fast track to the end of 2017 and the game has amassed nearly 30 million players. And one full year after release, 200 million players. To put into perspective how big 200 million is, the population of Japan is about 125 million. That means there are more people playing Fortnite, not at one time, just all together, than the whole entire population of Japan. To put it into a little bit more perspective, 200 million is also about the same as the top 7 most populated cities in the world combined together. So what does it have to do with Call of Duty? Well, if you see something doing well in the gaming industry, you follow it to capture a bit of the player base. which is exactly what Call of Duty did. In Black Ops 4, they had Blackout, which was a battle royale in COD style that was ultimately a failure in comparison to their next attempt, Warzone. Warzone even today still tops normal multiplayer Call of Duty, and it's for good reason too. Simply put, efforts have been put into Warzone and less into multiplayer. Although MW 2019 was the first full implementation of Warzone, I think the multiplayer wasn't too bad. Maybe yeah, there were some very bad aspects like the map design, encouraging camping, strict skill-based matchmaking, which needs a whole video to itself, and weapon balance issues. Remember the 725 at the beginning? It was absolutely crazy. And with Modern Warfare 2019 came in a new feature from Fortnite, this being the Battle Pass and the Shop. You paid for a pass that you worked through each season to unlock special rewards such as skins, weapon camos, emotes, and XP tokens. This continued in every Call of Duty since then. In my opinion, this was one of the worst additions that Call of Duty has added, even above supply drops. After Modern Warfare 2018, we had Black Ops Cold War. This game wasn't too bad altogether, but ultimately it was demolished due to the thing that happened all over the world in 2020, which forced devs to work from home and to have only 1 year to develop the game. This game was so middle of the road that when I think of it, I honestly just remember people hating on the zombies because it reeked of Warzone elements, with armor plates and score streaks that you could build, and even a mode with giant maps. After Cold War, we got Vanguard, and everyone knows Vanguard, so I won't spend much time on it. Let's just say it sold a lot, 30 million to be exact, but everyone regretted their purchase. And on to Modern Warfare 2 2022. If you thought Vanguard was a mess, just wait for this game. This game actually pushed me and all of my friends off from Call of Duty. I think a couple of my friends bought the game, we all played it for like the very first couple of weeks, and overall just did not like the game. Some of the bad things in the game was like the stiff and slow movement, the perks had to be earned throughout each match, the menu looked like a mobile game, the maps were terrible. Honestly, the list could go on, but let's continue with COD's latest contender, Modern Warfare 3 2023. I'm not gonna lie, this COD gave me hope and still continues to give it to me. I actually got the Master Camo on this game for multiplayer within the first month and actually stopped playing it. I came back to it every once in a while and was disappointed each time due to it being so hard with SBMM. Until recently, specifically after the Black Ops 6 beta, I came back and saw this game isn't that bad. The visuals of the game were actually some of the best in COD history, and the guns feel good. The camos are cool, and maybe it's because it's the end of the life cycle, but it's not super sweaty. Maybe this game could be the saving grace for Call of Duty, or so I thought until I found out this about the future of Call of Duty. So the Black Ops 6 beta finished a few weeks ago, and I can confidently say I had fun. Was it sweaty? Of course it was. Did I like all the maps? Not at all. So what did I like? Well, first off, the maps that I did like, I liked a lot, like Skyline and Scud. This was the first beta where I actually managed to get a nuke, which means that's maybe not too sweaty, and I actually really like the Omni movement, mainly moving in all directions and not particularly the diving aspects. I do have fears that zombies will be riddled with Warzone-like features, and the fact that the Ultimate's crew was over does suck, but they did break the cycle, so it makes sense. Richtofen and Samantha are in the zombies timeline, as well as it seems, but it won't be the same. I can't say for certain that this game will be good or not since it's not out yet, but I discovered something recently that sparked my interest in making this video, which is Call of Duty 2025. COD 2025 is supposedly a Black Ops 2 sequel. Everyone is so happy and thrilled to go back to the glory days, but take a second and think about what this means. Treyarch is currently working on Black Ops 6 and has been for the past like 3 years. So who's working on this BO2 sequel? Is it still Treyarch? Is it a different studio? This presents a huge problem because this would allow Treyarch a year to produce the game if they've been working on BO6 since Cold War. So what will make this a Black Ops 2 sequel if it's not made by Treyarch? Also, if Treyarch is working on this game, does that mean less work is being put into developing this game post-launch? Overall, this seems quite like a headache for Call of Duty and its fans, which is why I would like to leave you all with the question at hand. Why do you think Activision is doing this? Is it greed to capitalize off the nostalgia and players wanting to go back to the past? Is it a misunderstanding between the time and the game and what makes it good? Or something else entirely? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, but before we end the video, I have a few closing remarks about the future of Call of Duty. With the future of Call of Duty, us, the fans, must make a push for change. This isn't an easy thing to do. Even I myself has fallen victim to buying each COD, besides Vanguard, every time it comes out in hopes that the game will be better and not satisfy my needs from the past. So, as a fan base, new or old, if you don't like the games, we need to be vocal about what we don't like. The topic of SBMM has been in discussion since Black Ops 2. You can find videos about it if you search it, and there are multiple videos about it. I don't think that SBMM will be removed, but perhaps it could be altered if we are loud enough to not be ignored. Besides that, after hearing about Black Ops 6 and the Black Ops 2 sequel right after, I have my doubts about the future of Call of Duty, and that is why I think it is doomed to fail. Thank you to everyone who has watched the video this far. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you have something to say, and I just want to thank everyone for making this far. I hope you enjoyed it, and don't let this video get you down about Call of Duty, because there are people working very hard to hopefully get us the game that we enjoy. And who knows, maybe BO6 is that game and it'll be even better than Black Ops 2. We have to wait and find out. Anyways, I hope to see you guys soon, and I will see you guys next time.